Now, Sadhguru, isn't it insensitive where you speak of lynching of industry but not the death of 13 people?
Namaskaram, Padmaja. It is the first thing I mentioned was about young lives being lost on the streets of Tuticorin. Unfortunately, people are looking for controversies always, but let me repeat my stand on this. See, first thing is, some government, which I don't even know in which year these things were sanctioned, some sitting government of the day sanctions an industry and clears all the 1,000 no objection certificates that are needed, everything they get. Now they invest a few thousand crores and it starts, and maybe there are pollution issues, I don't know the detail of this, but people are telling me there were serious pollution issues. But if that is so, isn't there a democratic process and a legal process to handle these things? Why are we trying to address nation's problems on the streets? And I'm only talking about this because 13 innocent Tamil lives were lost. It's only after that I came into the picture, when I realized that I was traveling abroad. When I came back here, people told me 13 young people were killed on the streets. That is when I spoke about it. Why is this happening? Is this the way to conduct our country? Do we believe that we are in pre-47 era? Isn't there people who are responsible for licensing these industries? If it's not suitable for our land and our people and we don't need the produce, we just should not allow it. I'm not only talking about Sterlite. Anyway, it is only 2 days ago I realized Sterlite is a Vedanta enterprise. But the problem is this, that across the country this trend is coming. By protesting on the streets, we are trying to dictate the policy. This is not the way to go about.
But Sadhguru, these are not people who started out by protesting on the streets. They sat and did satyagraha for 100 days. They took legal recourse, but they found justice nowhere, so they were forced to march. That's what they are saying. When the system turns a blind eye to us, we have to shake the system out of its slumber. What recourse did they have?
See, what I'm saying is, if a government, an elected government is not responding to the people's needs, where should you protest? With the government. Where should you put pressure? With the policymakers who can change the policy. I'm saying, if you send this message out in the world, that if you make huge investment in this country, I don't know how they got the permissions, they made huge investments, whoever they are, and now the word is all over the world that if you make investments in India, after that there is no security for this. Is this going to bode well for us? When the country is striving to get onto its economic legs, economy means people are thinking some corporate, this is not the point, it's about the people. The people of this country, over 400 million people, have still not eaten properly. It is, for me, my heart burns that in our generation, before we are gone, we have to make sure this is transformed. If this has to happen, we know we need successful businesses in the country. We don't need burning of buses, burning down this and that.
The criticism being leveled at you is that you care more for jobs and industry than you care for human lives. That you're weighing in favor of the money bags rather than the people who have adored you over the years.
No, who is making this criticism? Some people who are always trying to make political capital out of the blood on the streets. It's those people. Common people clearly understand what I have said. I did not say that our industry should be opened. I did not say you shouldn't care for the people who are dead. I am asking, why did our youth die on the streets? Simply because we are not handling our laws properly, simply because we are not using the democratic process properly, simply because we are not using our legal system properly. Is this not the reason why youth have to go on the street and die?
Just for clarity…
The dying for the country business is over before 1947.
Who is responsible for those 13 deaths? The polluting industry, the government which gave the orders to fire, or the people who engaged in unlawful means during that protest? Who among these three you think is responsible?
we think we are going to solve the problems of this country with bullets, then we are up for real surprises coming up, okay? It is not with bullets that we can solve this. It is very important we understand nation's problems, we have to address it as a law-abiding nation. When we get people emotionally charged and they're on the street, things will go out of control. When things go out of control, all these things happen. I do not know the exact detail of how the firing happened, there's an investigation going on. I don't want to preempt that and say something that I do not know about. All I'm saying is, why do we create situations? I know this much. If you get 10,000 people on the street, things will go out of control, I know this much.
So you're saying the government is responsible
why are we addressing issues like
for being
this?
tone deaf and then resorting to firing?
You're saying that, Padmaja. I'm saying I do not know the detail of how the situation evolved. I saw a few pictures of the protest where vehicles were burning. I was outside the country. When I came back, when I inquired, I found out that 13 people were killed on the streets. That was shocking for me, that's why I responded. It is not for the loss of a company that I responded. I responded, and also I am concerned that India's industry and business thrives. If it thrives, it's good for the people. Let's understand this. It's not about some company that we are interested in. It's thousands of jobs, it's livelihoods and many things.
Then what do you say of this government that seems to have no accountability for the loss of 13 lives and then even shut down the industry as a knee-jerk reaction within a week?
That is exactly what I'm saying. See, if the industry is not fit to be here because of its pollution violations or whatever else, that should have happened even without the protest. Why should somebody protest? If somebody is flouting the laws, it's the business of the government to take care of that. That did not happen, I don't know why. Right now the investigation is on. Let the investigation, the results come through, let's see what comes out of it, because I do not have all the facts. I'm not someone who goes about taking sides without knowing what the nature of the problem is.
Because Sadhguru, all of this has happened at a time when the